The Forecast project really grew out of a great deal of concern about climate change. And we were very aware of the impacts on the ocean and also the communities that depended on the ocean. And we were searching for a way to make a difference.
So the Forecast project is establishing a long-term set of observations, engaging citizens to help make those observations, and to provide a framework or a context for the changes that we're seeing.
We're bringing these communities together to really think about and understand that climate change is happening, it's happening in our backyard, and we can come together as a community to impact that in a positive way and have some change.
One of the magic elements of the Forecast project is that we have a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve as our sentinel site. It's the place we're really focusing as a metaphor, as an example of a coastal ecosystem.
It has almost every major ecosystem that is represented from the Oregon coast within a very small geographic area. So not only does it have these ecosystems, but it's a big part of the conservation efforts and how we can potentially manage these systems down the road.
So this sentinel site is one of 700 sites in the world that UNESCO and the United Nations has said, this is really an extraordinary place. And it's not just extraordinary for its biological values, it's the interaction between humans and those biological values. So it's beautiful places that have humans braided into them, because humans are animals that are in their natural habitat. They live here. They came here after the last ice age. They belong here, just like salmon belong here. How they are here, we're very focused on.
The way that our project hopes to engage citizens and the community is through a variety of different lenses. The core part that we're trying to figure out right now is actually the citizen science, so the data collection.
One of the things we talk about in the project is art illuminating science. It's like, oh, that kind of rolls off the tongue. What are you talking about? What happens when an artist goes out in the field with a scientist and they're looking at exactly the same 10 square feet? Rather than it just being something to measure, it's something to experience. And I think that art can do that in a way that our mental abstraction can't. So I think if there are saviors today in the environmental movement that could move us forward as a culture, it's going to be the poet scientists. It's the scientists that can see the big picture and the patterns and are creative. When we explore deeply what's happening to these living systems through art, through science, through traditional ecological knowledge, we're going to develop insights that other people have not, and also, hopefully, solutions to some of the problems we're facing. We have team leads that head up a habitat. So we have the 4 habitats of uplands, riverine, estuarine, nearshore, and oceanic. And there's someone that lives and breathes and is responsible for the physical habitat itself. And almost like a service bureau inside the project, you have leads that are responsible for art, science, and traditional ecological knowledge. And they are of service to those habitats. And so what you get is a very, very dynamic mix of worldviews. Just like your body has a lot of tools to deal with an immunological response, we need that same biological response to these huge changes that are coming at us, and we need the diversity of humans and their backgrounds to do so.
What I bring to it as the science lead is the formal way that we make measurements, and that we can attach an accuracy and an uncertainty to those measurements, and we can, in a sense, have high quality data that will live on.
The volunteers will actually have a variety of different roles. Science data collection is only one of them. Citizen science is what we're focusing on right now because it's the data that we need to get up and running, and everything else will kind of grow from that.
So we're providing a project where they can come out, join us in the field, in the habitats, and help us make some observations and measurements that are scientifically sound, and we can put them in our databases and we can see those changes over time.
What a volunteer gets to do is be inside science, be inside art, be inside traditional ecological knowledge, and their work counts. This is all going to contribute and provide traction to arguably the largest existential threat we face as a generation. What a wonderful opportunity for all of us to work together and to make that difference together.
And so when you put those things together, it's so much more powerful. We'll absolutely take our data and make it part of the network up and down the West Coast.
We may think we're in control. All it takes is one winter storm or, flooding of a major city or whatever it is to give us all something in common. Some part of us really loves to meet challenges, threats, or opportunities together. The one thing that we know in this project is we are stronger together.
People understand there's change and they understand we have to do something about it, but they get intimidated by it. They can't change it themselves. They can't fix it themselves. So what they have to realize is to just do a little bit.
There's such great potential for life-changing experiences when you view climate change as an opportunity, not just as a problem. The future won't be planned, it will be designed. When we were thinking about the project design, we were saying, what's the best immune response as humans to our climate unraveling? How can we be as diverse and resilient and insightful as possible in designing this program and not just making it like any other project?
So by bringing the volunteers with us, they get to see under the hood of what we're doing and they learn what we're doing and do it themselves. And then they can go back to their communities and spread the word about, I actually made these measurements and look at this, here's the change and here's why it's important.
Whatever your passion is, if you are concerned about climate change, there is a way for you to help us with this project.
We're actually building community. And so if you're a funder, you're a project partner that wants to be part of the inner team, you're a volunteer, build that community with us. It won't happen without you.